If I lock my shop and leave, over 35 South Africans will be displaced. Who really benefits from xenophobia? Now, I want you to watch this video and we'll come back to the analysis.
What I was trying to say, some of you are from here in Jerusalem. You know when the Chinese was running this shop, it was when the Chinese was running this shop, the Chinese have one worker or two workers. But since I started running this shop, I created an opportunity for about 20-something South Africans who are working here recently. You understand? I created the opportunity for about 30-something to 20-something South Africans who are working here recently. Am I lying? Am I lying what I'm saying? Am I lying? Am I lying? No, I have permits.
Guys, let's keep it short.
Yes.
We don't want any foreigner to run any business here, including you. So today you're closing. We've been telling you. Today we're closing.
Okay, I have about 20 South Africans working inside here. What about them?
No. The major who are running the place, South African must run the place, not you. Not you.
But I have the document. I have the right document.
We don't care. Okay, guys.
I'm not running a saloon. I'm not running a saloon. I'm giving the South Africans the saloon. I'm running a great shop. The saloon is being run by South Africans, not me. Listen. I'm running the great shop. At the back of the shop, I created the saloon for the South Africans. Did I do anything wrong?
You must call your boss. Let's put your boss.
So they've stated that you need to leave the country by the 30th. What's when are you leaving?
I'm a law-abiding citizen. I have all the necessary documents. I have run my business, pay tax for 18 years now. So I have the legal documents. I'm looking for the direction for the government. If the government insists that I should close my shop and go, it's coming from the government direction. I will close and go.
So you are ignoring this organization?
I'm not ignoring the organization, but at the end of the day, the organization stated that they are chasing illegal immigrants. I'm not illegal. I've run a business. I've had this company for more than 13 years. Paying tax, paying taxes, employing workers, training workers by myself. How am I doing something illegal at that perspective?
Yeah.
Is that illegal?
Not at all.
So that's what I have my confidence. I'm ready to go. What I'm telling them, I'm ready to go close. And even today, what I'm begging you guys is, get me a South African who is capable to manage this shop. I have 30-something workers here, South Africans, who, if you close this shop, they will be displaced. I want to make sure that while I'm going, they're in good hands. You give me money for my socks and everything, I will leave the shop for you. I'm even tired of all this harassment there and there. Everyone is tired. So I'm not arguing to go. My own problem is that I have trained workers over the years, for more than 13 years. It's a hard work to train good workers. They are here, a number of them. If I close and go, what about their fate? I told them several times, can you manage the shop? They said, no, the rent is expensive. Okay, calm down for me. I'm not going. I'm not leaving you guys behind. As long as I get somebody who is capable to manage this shop, a South African, I will go. I'm ready to go.
In short,
you understand, boss? So what I'm saying is that you as a person take an assignment. Get me somebody who is capable.
No.
To manage the shop.
Let me explain something to you.
All right, bro.
Okay. What we say, we don't want any foreigner to run any business. So if you close now, it's none of your business whether this shop is opening or not. It's none of your business.
What about those South Africans who are working here?
What happens when a business owner is forced out of the country? Not because the business fails, but because of where he comes from. Renewed xenophobic tensions in South Africa, Nigerian businessman made a striking declaration. If he shuts down his shop and leaves, more than 35 South Africans will lose their jobs. His statement raises a difficult but important question. Migrant-owned businesses are targeted. Who really suffers? The foreigner, the local worker, or the economy itself? South Africa has experienced recurring wave of xenophobic violence for more than 2 decades now. Foreign nationals, particularly those from other African countries such as Nigeria, Zimbabwe, Somalia, Ethiopia, Mozambique, they have frequently been accused of taking jobs, dominating local businesses, and contributing to crime. These tensions often intensify during periods of economic hardship, rising unemployment, and political uncertainty. The latest controversy emerges against a backdrop of persistent unemployment, slowing economic growth, inequality, and growing public frustration. Yet the Nigerian entrepreneur claimed that his business sustains dozens of South African families, complicates the narrative that immigrants merely take opportunity for locals. Now let's look at the key issues driving this controversy. The first is economic frustration and unemployment. South Africa continues to battle one of the highest unemployment rates in the world, particularly among young people, the Gen Zs. In such an environment, migrants often become visible targets for public anger, competition for opportunities. Many local citizens perceive foreign-owned businesses as competitors in already strained markets. This perception is amplified by political rhetoric and social media narratives. Crime and security concerns is also there. Some criminal activities involving foreign nationals receive extensive publicity, creating stereotypes that affect entire migrant community. Weak social integration is another one. Limited interaction between migrant communities and local populations often fuel mistrust, misunderstanding, and suspicion. Now, let's look at the economic impact of this. This statement by the Nigerian businessman highlights an often overlooked reality. Migrants do not seek economic opportunity, they also create them. Foreign entrepreneurs frequently open businesses in underserved communities, creating direct and indirect employment, pay taxes and local levies, support supply chains and local vendors, increase competition which can lower prices and improve services. If a single migrant-owned business employs over 35 South Africans, its closure would affect far more than one individual. Families would lose income, local suppliers would lose customers, and economic activity within the community could decline. This demonstrates that economic relationships are often interconnected rather than zero-sum. The critical question becomes, are immigrants taking jobs, or are some of them creating jobs that otherwise would not exist? Social and political implication is also there. The scapegoat problem. Throughout history, societies facing economic hardship have often searched for a convenient group to blame. Yes, of course, they are looking for soft targets, convenient groups to blame. Migrants can become easy targets because they are visible, politically vulnerable, and often lack institutional protection. However, unemployment, inequality, poor service delivery, corruption, inadequate education system, and weak economic growth are structural issues that cannot be solved by removing migrants. Now, taking you now to the political incentives. In some cases, anti-migrant rhetoric becomes a tool for mobilizing public support. Blaming outsiders may often short-term political advantage while diverting attention from governance failure. We have the community polarization. Repeated xenophobic attack or incident deepens the division between communities, making social cohesion increasingly difficult. Now let's look at a broader African perspective. The African Union's long-term vision promotes regional integration, free movement, trade cooperation, and economic collaboration among African nations. Xenophobic violence directly challenges this vision. If Africans cannot safely live, work, invest, and trade within Africa, the dream of continental economic integration becomes harder to achieve. Many African countries host South African businesses, banks, retailers, telecommunication firms, and investors. Hostility towards foreign nationals may eventually provoke reciprocal tensions elsewhere, treating mutually beneficial economic relationships. The issue therefore extends beyond South Africa. It is a continental concern. Well, to you my audience, the Nigerian entrepreneur statement reveals a contradiction at the center of the immigration debate. On one hand, critics argue that immigrants increase competition for scarce opportunity. On the other hand, evidence from many economics shows that entrepreneurs, regardless of nationality, often generate economic activity, create jobs, and stimulate growth. The question should perhaps not be whether a business owner is Nigerian, South African, Zimbabwean, or Somali, the more relevant question is the business contributing positively to society? If the answer is yes, forcing its closure may ultimately hurt the very communities xenophobic actions claim to protect. Economic growth is rarely achieved through exclusion. It's usually achieved through productivity, investment, and innovation, and cooperation as well. So, in conclusion, who really pays the price? When xenophobia drives a business owner away, the consequences extend beyond the migrants. Employees lose jobs, families lose income, communities lose economic activities, investors lose confidence, the country risks damaging its international reputation. The businessman may leave, but the economic losses often remain behind. Ultimately, the biggest victim of xenophobia are not only migrants, they are also the local citizens whose livelihood depend on stable, inclusive, and growing economies. So, the real question is not who owns the business. The real question is who pays the price when that business disappears. To you, my audience, African futures depends on cooperation, not division. Government must address the root causes of unemployment, inequality, crime, and economic exclusion rather than allowing frustration to be directed towards vulnerable communities. Citizens must reject violence and embrace dialogue. Business owners, community leaders, and policy makers should work together to build trust, strengthen local economies, and promote peaceful coexistence. Economic challenges require economic solutions, not scapegoats. Because in the end, prosperity grows when opportunities are expanded, not when people are excluded. I rest my case. Go to like and comment, and if this analysis touched you, go to share with a South African person you know and all those suffering the consequences of this xenophobic attack going on in South Africa. I rest my case. Join the next analysis for more deep dives.